Hello, you guys. This is number 6 in the series, and this is my, if you want to call it, my come to Jesus moment when I knew. So you know my history, right? So I've kind of shared with you my whole experience with God and the church and everything, and you guys, this went on for most of my adult life, almost, crazy up until about 7 years ago. And I tell this story. I was successful in this world. The money, house paid off, cars paid off, all this stuff looks good. Family looks great from the outside, but I was dying from the inside. High level corporate job, all that stuff. And I realized that was a lie. The American dream that I was told was a lie. Whew. You imagine your whole life striving for something, and then you get there. And you're like, wait a minute, I'm not happy. Wait a minute, this doesn't feel good. Wait a minute, all I see are politics and egos. Wait a minute, this isn't feeling right on the inside. I ended up leaving the corporate world because I couldn't take it anymore. Some of the dishonesty and integrity issues that I saw, for me, that was just, I couldn't do it. And ended up opening up a business, a wine store, and which was, it served me so well. I ended up traveling the world, got to meet amazing people, but it culminated in a divorce, a failed 6-year relationship. My life was just spiraling. I was holding it together. Again, from the outside, it's great. It's wine store owner and everything's good financially and all that stuff. But man, I was just dying on the inside. I was just in this spiral. And again, not the bad, crazy stuff, but just lost. Like a zombie. Like the last few years of my corporate life, I call them my zombie years. And that really kind of continued into my wine store ownership. I always had a natural joy about me, but I kept, thinking that, well, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, so this is going to be it, right? This is the happily ever after part. It didn't happen. So for me, lots of, just dark days, just knowing that, man, if this is all there is to life, then this sucks. It's like all about, saving money and buying stuff and watching the game and going to the game and going on vacation. But it was all empty stuff. It's great. Yeah, it was fine. But what I've since found out, right? You guys know this. Those of you who are following Jesus, right? You can have all that stuff, but without love, you're bankrupt. You don't have anything. And true love, the kind of love that only Jesus and God can give you, right? So, for me, everybody knows it as my lawnmower moment. So I was literally mowing my lawn one day. And I was listening to Blake Shelton, the song Austin, came on the radio, headset. And all of a sudden I found myself bawling in the fetal position in the middle of my yard, just going, I cannot do this any longer. Finally, all the weight of the world literally came crashing down on me and just put me down. And I was crying. And I didn't know what was going on. So it was just like, holy cow. But I think that's the first time in my life that I'm just like, I can't. Why? What? All of that, you can have it all. You can do it. And then I did it. And then I'm divorced. And then I screwed up a 6-year relationship. And then I'm, there's just all this heavy stuff. Not getting to see my son and, all kinds of stuff that happened to me. And it all came crashing down in that one moment. And literally, next day, a friend said the sentence that changed my life. You know, Bob, there's religion and there's God. That was it. Sentence changed my life right there. Just hearing that, I felt this huge weight lifted from my shoulders. Huge. You guys, it was just amazing. So, that's kind of my lawnmower moment. What is your moment? Maybe you haven't had a moment yet. Maybe yours is yet to come. You know, for me, I think I was very fortunate because mine was pretty dramatic. And it represented just a monumental shift because it was so dramatic. That has just propelled me into a life of joy ever since then. Learning and joy and growth. Okay, so what was your moment, if you had a moment like mine? I'd love to hear it. If you haven't had a moment like that, think about that. Just think about it. If you haven't had a moment like that, think about it. And if you're, somebody that is nowhere close to having a moment like this, you're like, oh no, I'm good. I would just say to you, wherever you're at, there's better. I don't care where you're at, including myself, there's always better. And that's the amazing thing about following Jesus is it's always better. And God is just always evolving and changing and expanding and growing. And so we get to do that, right? We get to do that. And the Holy Spirit is with us. And it's just an amazing experience. And it's a very unique experience to each individual. So, that's what makes it, I think, so cool is when, for me, being able to look back and reflect on my whole life after feeling that weight lift, and then to be able to reflect back on my whole life and just look in retrospect, it became more and more awe-inspiring. So good. All right, you guys. So what was your moment? Maybe your moment is yet to come. If so, I'm so excited for you. If there's anything I can do to help you understand a little bit further the journey I've been on, I would be more than happy to do that. All right, we'll see you guys soon.